Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit and hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Cite the Emote in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can probably use those emotes. You get the Cite the Emote if you're a tier 2 subscriber. John is here. Arctic Sloth is here. Welcome, welcome. If you're not a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes, maybe the global emotes, or you can just remain silent and be a lurker, which is totally okay. Ghost Valve is here. What's up, Ghost Valve? Welcome, welcome to the old Build With Baer Workshop. We're working on the Danazine. The Danazine is right here. You can see that right there. It's a dragon. One of these, this particular arm here, I broke part of it in construction, and then I glued it together with liquid cement, and it's working fine. It doesn't have the range of movement as the other one does, but it'll look fine for display purposes. Just goes to show, you can fix stuff when you fuck it up. It's not perfect, but it's doable. Arctic Sauce says custom. Yes, this is a custom build. My version just has an arm that doesn't bend or extend. It's fine. And if you look very closely, you can see some spots where the plastic is adhered to one another and it's not a clean line. And that's fine. Non-fungible builds, indeed. It happens. Unfortunately, I don't want it to happen, but it does happen. And I like to be able to say, like, hey, yeah, you can fuck up and still be okay. I wouldn't necessarily recommend liquid cement as like a tool that you have in your disposal. But I have liquid cement and I have a blue tack, and I make use of it when necessary. I have tools that I don't really need, like you don't really need X-Acto knife to put stickers on. It helps. You don't need jeweler's tweezers to hold pieces and make sure they don't move anywhere, but they help, and so I make use of them. Do want to say, we had a drop in subscribers, and that's bad. We're currently sitting at 33 subscribers. I mean, the goal is 50. 40 is like, 40 means that I get a payout. Doing the math here, I don't know if I'm getting a payout for April. I'll find out in May if I get an April payout. If not, my June payout will be more. If you are on the fence about becoming a subscriber, spending $5 a month on what I do here, I would say go for it. If you've been thinking about maybe gifting a sub to somebody in the community, anonymously or with your name attached, I would say now would be a great time to do that. Someone in particular, or just in general, or just a random, a viewer that has come through. Because the payouts are a great way for me to buy model kits. My monthly payouts, which come around the middle of the month. And I don't, like I said, I don't know if I'm getting that April payout. I won't know till like the 12th or so. But signs don't look great. It looks like I got close to it, but not there. Either way, I'm going to keep building, right? If I have 5 subscribers a month, I'm going to continue to stream. It just makes it more difficult. And in the months where my subscriber numbers are lower than other months, those are the months where I don't pre-order kits or buy stuff off Amazon. And that's when my backlog starts to dwindle. Right now, my backlog is, I would describe it as healthy. It's mostly high grades, and do I have like one real grade yet? No. Yeah, I got one real grade, and then all the rest are high grades. So that's like good for now. I have a bunch of kits to build, but I always like having new kits in. I've got pre-orders for kits. I've got a couple coming the end of this month, so really June, and then kit coming in June. I got a couple kits coming in August, a kit coming in July, and then one October, and then third quarter, because it's a back order. Who knows when I'll get the Gundam H2 Dark Hound, which is a cool looking kit. But anyway, I thought I'd mention that because we are currently at 33. And I've been doing it in like, okay, so you think I would put 33 out of 35. No. I don't even want to mess around with 35. We're trying to get back up to 40. Always trying to be at 40. Would love to get higher than that, but we're always trying to be at 40. So that's where we're at there. A little peek behind the curtain. I'm going to reply to my tweet, see if we can get a few more friends to join us tonight as we start working on this kit. And then we're going to get into model kit building. which you may be surprised to find out is the primary thing I do on this stream. You wouldn't be surprised, hopefully. All right, overhead. Yeah, and then we'll get into some other like stuff that we got to talk about here. If you tuned into my stream yesterday, thank you for being here as I played some video games. You may remember that I had a situation here. On Monday, I debuted because it was the beginning of May. Happy May, everybody. May the 5th be with you. You may remember that I debuted a new song because every month I have a different ska song that when you use your channel points for me to play a ska song, I will play a ska song, change it every month. I debuted a new song. Then I put the archive up on YouTube and got a so-and-so music thing. You're not in trouble. So-and-so music player is going to take revenue from your stream and put up, ads, and they will get money to use the song in there. Or you could mute the whole video, delete the segment where the song is, or just mute it. And I was like, well, just mute it. And then I went and did a little research, found out the song that I had downloaded, I don't know, whenever I started doing ska songs. So last year, I downloaded a bunch of stuff that was, you have to list, the name, like on the YouTube thing, you got to put in the description, like the artist or whatever. Some people involve a link. These folks this band, who I won't mention, were just like a band, and you didn't have to do anything. You could just play their music. It was fine. Didn't have to list anything, didn't have to do anything. So I had a couple songs of theirs, which I haven't played yet. This first one was the first of it, because I ran out of ska songs that were available through Elgato, because I'm using the Stream Deck for all this. So I ran out of available tunes on the Elgato. So I was like, all right, well, I'll get some other stuff because I can have a button play an MP3. It's not a problem. It loads it real fast and works great. It is helpful in that regard. Which one is 1? These are similar but not the same. Which one is 1 and which one is 14? I got to look at this. Sorry. Give me a second. 14 is this one. Okay. So this is 1. Where does 1 go? You're saying to yourself, Pat, that doesn't really matter. It does matter because one is plugging into the foot and one is plugging into the top there. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome, Lunzeru. Happy to have you here in the old Build With Baer. Anyway, so long story short, I had to get rid of that song that I was using for when people use channel points for me to play a ska song, and I have a new ska song, which is a reggae ska tune that's pretty good. So I had to replace that, and that's fine. Also, you may, as I'm going through news of like what's going on with the streams and all that. Actually, now again, yeah, okay. If you were watching the stream yesterday, you also heard that Xandra, the maker of fine emotes, currently all 3 of my emotes, has designed my 4th emote, which will be the new Tier 2 emote, and then the Death Scythe emote will be available for everybody. And it will also become my like Twitter icon or whatever, like I will use it in places because it is dope looking and it's basically me, but a thing. It is, I've been teasing it. It follows the course of me, but in some sort of thing. So me as a Lego minifig, me as a Death Scythe follows that. It is a franchise I have built model kits from. And it will debut in June. I gave Xandra the deadline of my birthday in order to give her plenty of time to get this done because I wanted it done for my birthday. I've been talking about doing it basically all year. Finally got around to asking her to put it together and figuring out exactly what I wanted. To which she replied, "Happy birthday," and just made it, which is great. I have not gotten in all the proper sizes, haven't uploaded it yet and all that. I will do that in June, as I said, and it will debut in time for my birthday, which felt like a good day to have, or around that time. So sometime in June, I'll have a new emote. It'll be the new tier 2, and everyone will get to use the tier 2 emote that it currently is, which is me, the site, which right now, the only person who can use it are my 2 tier 2 subscribers, and only one of those subscribers ever watches my streams live. The other one just supports me $10 a month and watches the VODs. So Aristofan and I can use the site emote, and then in June, everybody will be able to, who is a tier 1 subscriber, of course. Which is, something. It's something. All right, we got the leg here. It feels wobbly and weird. That's fine. Got to put these parts together here. Polycap 15, C1, B23. Got a bunch of parts here. We're just working on this. So, yeah. The only other update that's coming is a thing I am going to try to do in the month of May. I do not know if it will be successful. I do not know if it will be something that people actually want to do. I am going to start inviting people looking forward to Death Site June. Yeah, right? I'm going to start inviting some friends of mine. When I say people, I mean actual real friends of mine to be audio guests. Like jump into I have my regular Discord, but I also have another Discord that I use for recordings of things. It is a private Discord that I have never promoted because I don't want to. Because it literally just has one conversation channel and then a voice channel. And so the idea is I'm going to be inviting people to pick a Monday and to join me. And I don't have a clever, we can workshop that. I'm pretty good at coming up with names for things, but right now I don't know because I don't have a good rhyming scheme. The idea is that it's voice guests, and it's on a Monday. So I'm trying to think of an M word that I can put with Monday that will work for this. And right now I don't have it, so I don't know. So we can workshop some ideas. We can brainstorm. No idea is a bad idea. If you've got a thought, of what I can call those Mondays. Echoes in the Bear Cave says Aristofan. Aristofan, I don't hate that. If they're playing off the Bear Cave name. I don't hate that. But yeah, the basic idea is that I'm going to start inviting some people to just watch the stream along, and so they'll be watching it as you watch, but then they'll be audio wise talking to me, and it'll be Mechaless Monday or Mecha Monday. Glenn throwing in some suggestions. Appreciate that, Glenn. But yeah, the plan is just okay, who do I want to? I want to start inviting people that I don't get a chance to talk with, either because we're not on Discords that often together, or we're not on Zooms that often these days. It's actually kind of hard to get some people together, and it's just people that I want to chat with and want an excuse to kind of hang out. And yeah, maybe I can have them on, and if it's just audio, it'll be easy. And maybe I don't think I'm gonna have multiple guests in the call, but I'm gonna open it up and basically just be hey, I got 2-hour block. You can come hang out. Mouthful Mondays. It's a bad idea, but I heard no bad ideas. And John, yeah, I don't think I would call it Mouthful Monday, but I do agree that I did say no bad ideas. Because I do think that Mouthful Monday would be a good one-off name for a thing, but not a good name for multi-week or ongoing project. Because eventually people would forget what that reference was to, and it would just be weird. Not the entire time, but it would be weird. But yeah, right now I just think it's I don't know. If you were putting together a Kirby Netroid, then Mouthful could work. Yes, Glenn. Yeah, if it was tied into something, then I could see that working out. But since it's not tied to anything and it's just just me talking. How does this connect? What is this thing? Sorry. Is this the right piece? Let me just make sure. It's B23. I will say, I did not expect this kit to be as confusing as it is. Sometimes this kit is just weirdly, unnecessarily confusing. And I'm I'm just surprised by it. I think part of it is the fact that there isn't any English in here. And also that the booklet is so damn small. I think that contributes to it. And it's also, I mean, we're building a dragon. That's a weird thing to put together. There aren't many dragon kits. So, a bit unusual. And even like the Epion, which is the two-headed dragon, is still just a Gundam with some extra armor. It's not that weird. It's still just like a wing suit. Still like kind of figuring out what's going on here with this particular kit. I think I figured it out. Just a weird assortment of parts put together in an odd style. We've got some people watching right now. Hello, welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. If this is your first time here, if you were just checking out the tag and you don't know quite what my deal is, you can always hit the follow if you want to, because you want to check out future streams. I build model kits Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. Eastern time. And then on Wednesdays, I play video games or do something else that's not model kit building. It's a bonus. If you've been here before, hey, what's up? And if you're a subscriber, hey, what's up? Somebody renewed their subscription. Speaking of which, notification didn't go off, which is fine. It just did. Lashbrook just resubbed with Prime. The notification came in fast, so let's hit the applause. Lashbrook says, I'm real tired. Pretend I had a good joke with the number 54. Lashbrook, that joke was really good. Thank you so much for that banger of a joke. At 54 months, of course, thank you for that. We are now indeed at 34 instead of 33 out of 40, which is great. So thank you for that. I'm going to go update that. I saw the number update before I saw the notification, which is fun. Yeah, now so we're on our way. Yeah, throw those emotes in the chat. Thank you very much, Lashbrook, for your continued support. Appreciate it. Let's see. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, voice guests. Yeah, audio guests. I want to do that. There are people that I would like to connect with and people I would like to hang out with and chat with them about what's going on with them. And like, I don't, here's the real honest to God. I just don't want to do a podcast. I don't want to start a podcast, but like, I miss people and I want to talk to them. Like I have friends that I have not chatted with in quite some time because of distance that I would see consistently because of our shared work experience or just like being in New York and running into one another. And it's just one of those things where I'm like, I don't get to do that anymore. I don't get those experiences. So is this wrong? Okay, I'm just looking at this leg and I'm like, no. Okay, that's right. Yeah, it's just weird. Okay. No. Is that... Sorry. I guess that's right. I guess this is how the leg is supposed to go? Yeah, that would have to go like that. And then it would have to go like that. Okay. This foot is very weird. I mean, it's a dragon's claw or whatever. So, I guess it would be weird. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, they're just people I want to talk to, and I don't want to start a podcast in order to talk to them. So this feels like a solution to that problem, is that I could have people come on. And I decided Monday will be a good day. Maybe it won't be a good day. Maybe I'll have people that are like, Pat, I really want to do this. That would be fun. That day does not work for me, and it never will. And then I'll be like, okay, well, what's your situation on a Thursday or a Saturday? But I do like the idea of like being consistent. Like, no, this is the day that I have people. Monday is often a little low energy for me. It can be low energy for friends to come in. Starting a podcast is too much work time. Yes, it's just too much effort to do what I kind of want to do, which is just chat with friends and allow them the opportunity to promote themselves and also maybe have some of them come see me. Dirty just showed up. What's up, Dirty? And Dirty wants to hear the ska song again. Debuted yesterday, a new ska song for the month because the one I played on Monday, I can't play without being demonetized. So here we go. I don't have a fade out on that yet. I have to add the fade out. I forgot about that. Maybe not a Monday podcast. Yeah. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Oh, heck, what unit is that? So, sir, that is some laid back ska, right, Lashbrook? I mean, it's basically reggae, but it's got a little bit of a ska feel to it, obviously. Ska has its roots in reggae, but with some punk vibes. This is a little more just pretty much reggae. It'll be a live vodcast. There you go. To answer Sir's question, Sir Rubenheim, this is the Danazine, Danazine, Danazine. It is from Gundam Age, and a Gundam series I am not super familiar with, but it is a mobile suit. It is, it's a grunt kit, and it is. I just think it is a cool looking dragon. It's like a dragon mobile suit. I picked this up for the Plastic Model Weekender, which happened this past weekend. Also, thank you very much for the follow. I thought it was Gundam Rayquaza at first. Yeah, it does have Rayquaza vibes. I mean, it's going for that like Chinese. It's not going for the Shenlong dragon, the Wing Zero, the Wing kit that is going for that old Chinese dragon, but it is going for a green dragon vibe. And it is a weird build. It is a pretty unique build, even for Age, which has some interesting looking stuff. So I don't believe it is made of Gundanium, the Gundanium alloy. I mean, it's definitely not a Gundam. It is a grunt. It is a multi-purpose suit. But I do love that because it's just like when I was you're like, that's just a dragon. Y'all just made a mech dragon? Sure. There aren't many dragons in the Gundam universes, so it's kind of cool to have one. And that's a leg. We finished a leg. Hooray! We now have a leg to go with our arms and our head right there. And now we're going to work on the other leg. All right, so I talked about ska and songs and upcoming emote. So we got through that business. Laptop and iPad mini. I spent the day updating. It's made of Pokanium. Yes, indeed. I spent the day updating my computer. My laptop does not love. I don't use it. Here's the thing. When I work here, outside of streaming and stuff, when I'm doing stuff, I have various internet jobs. Data entry stuff, customer service stuff. I work a bunch of contract gigs, but I work from this room that I'm in right now on this computer. I don't often use my laptop. My laptop was very helpful in my work in New York when I still lived there, and I was going to theaters, and it was great to have my laptop for like being in coffee shops, killing time between gigs, or even at work having like a laptop that I could have like PowerPoint running on, so it didn't have to be on the main computer I was using at that venue, or or Google Drive or Google Slideshow or something like that. Having a separate device for that was helpful. So I haven't really used it much. I mean, and I need to keep it updated. So I did pull out the computer to update that, and that took forever. And then my iPad mini it's not the very first iPad mini, but it's the second iPad mini. So it's old. It's so old that it works. It just doesn't hold a charge anymore. So if I don't constantly use it and constantly charge it, the battery just drops down, and then I got to plug it back in. So I'm trying to keep that alive because it is helpful. I don't use my iPad mini that often. Honestly, you said, Pat, why do you want either of these things? Why do you need your laptop to work? You're not going to conventions. You're not going to work on job sites. Why do you need your laptop? And honestly, it's so that I can do work outside of this room. It's so that I can sit in my living room, or we have the second iPad mini, but it's still going strong on battery. Hell yeah, M. John. That's awesome. Yeah, mine just does not want to keep a charge for that long. It's fine if it's plugged in. And if it's fully charged, it'll work for a while. But eventually it will start being like, what are we doing here? While it's very hot right now, and I got AC going and it's beautiful. Also, like, there are parts of the day where I don't mind being in the screened-in porch, and it's kind of nice. And if I have like even if it's data entry, I want to have my laptop in my lap, or if I'm just reading some documents or whatever, reading materials, prepping. I love the idea of being able to like sit, outside or in the porch and just kind of like not be in this particular room. And having the ability to do that and the option to do that is pretty great. My iPad Mini is often my manga reader for this, for going to official apps and reading manga on it. What's the name of the Pokemon-esque game that is coming out now on Steam that has built-in features like a Nuzlocke mode? Dirty, I don't have the answer for you for that. I'm sorry. I don't keep up with the Pokemon likes. So sorry to say, I don't know the answer to that. That does sound cool, and I hope it's good and people like it. But yeah, not aware. Anyway, yeah, my iPad Mini is mostly right now. When I'm at conventions, my iPad Mini is if I'm like selling stuff. Here's a nice thing: I don't have to use the like Bluetooth card reader for credit cards. I still have a card swiper that plugs in via headphone jack because my iPad Mini has a headphone jack. So that is very helpful for like doing sales because it's just small and compact and can go wherever you need it. But also I can then. I read manga, and sometimes I like to sit. Maybe I want to sit in the living room and do some reading and just kind of chill out. And I can't really do that. I don't want to move my desktop out of this room just so I can do a little work. So kind of keeping that stuff up to date. Cannot upgrade. Sir says my favorite manga are detective mangas. Okay, yeah, nice. I read a lot of fantasy stuff. I like some slice of life. I certainly like some chill slice of life, cute stuff. But also, I primarily like the action fantasy genre and the subgenre of the isekai or reborn, that kind of stuff. One of those 3mm square card swipes is dope. Yeah, it's great because it doesn't have the card. It's not the bar thing or the thing where you have to sweep in with your chip. It's just a swipe, but it works really well, and we, do that for when I have to sell stuff. But also, my iPad Mini is just nice on planes. Instead of my laptop is pretty big and bulky because it is an Alienware laptop. Although, if you look at it, you wouldn't know that because I have a sticker on it that says, I'll put it there. I think dogs should be able to vote. I have that as a sticker covering up the Alienware logo because I use this at conventions on panels, and I'm not promoting Alienware for free, so I put a sticker right over it. Put a Monster Factory sticker right over that because why not? I also bought that at a convention. Aristophan says perhaps Koromon. Koromon is the thing that Dirty might have been talking about. Koromon. I mean, that does look like some kind of Pokemon game. Very positive reviews. Came out at the end of March. I mean, the human on this has a two-tone hat. It's like, yeah, all right, this might be a sort of Pokemon game. A Pokemon-like. Koromon is a modern take on the classic monster taming genre. Okay. That might be it. No, I don't have any thoughts on that per se. But yeah, everything's up to date. I'll be able to do some reading. Excited about that. Looking forward to having the opportunity to get everything up to date, which is just good. It's just good. You know what? Honestly, it's just good to be updated. Take your updates, get everything going there. Restart your computer if you always put it to sleep. Every once in a while, you want to shut it down completely just to show it's who's boss. And also, because sometimes, even though it said it downloaded the update, it didn't actually install the update. And then you're like, oh no, It didn't install the update. I need that. It's good to do all that stuff. Back up your files, friends. When's the last time you backed it up? Got to back that thing up. And by thing, I mean your important data. Maybe stick it in the cloud. Maybe go into iCloud, delete the photos it uploaded from your iPhone that you were like, I don't need these in the cloud. This is a photo of me while I was on a walk that I didn't post to Instagram. Why is this here right now? What are we doing? Maybe you aren't me, but that is constantly what I'm doing, is going to iCloud and deleting photos that I didn't need to upload and told them not to, and they just did anyway. Because what do they care? Other things. Hey, here's a public service announcement, because maybe you don't remember this, and maybe this will be helpful to you. If you are currently in the United States, Mother's Day is on Sunday. So maybe you would like to know that. I remembered that. I bought my Mother's Day card a while ago, which I was happy that I planned that out. But then I have part of my mother's gift, and maybe you don't do that. Maybe you don't for whatever reason. You do you. But maybe you were like, uh-oh, what? Or maybe you saw Danny O'Dwyer tweet about Mother's Day like not too long ago and freaked the fuck out because Mother's Day in Ireland is earlier than Mother's Day in the United States. And you were like, wait, what? Oh, what? What did I do? It's like, because every once in a while somebody talks about Mother's Day, and I was like, oh, if you could do something nice for them, if you're in good standing. Indeed. Dirty plans to hit up the CVS tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going, I got a vase. New vase that looks really nice, and I think Mom's going to like it. But then I'm going to get flowers tomorrow to put in that vase separately. So I got to get some flowers tomorrow to put in there, because a vase broke not too long ago. So I bought her a new vase that's similar to the old one, but not a replacement. Also, I didn't break it, so I'm not making up for that. I just was like, oh, that's something I can get. That's not that expensive, but my mom will like. Lord Crashington says, hey, Pat. And I say, hey to you, Lord Crashington. Welcome, welcome. Happy to have you here. So, yeah. Whoops. Oh. Where did that go? I see it. It fell on the floor. I don't see it. Here it is. Great. Found that part that fell. I ordered seeds and sprouts from my mom's greenhouse. I just need a card. Hell yeah, Dirty. But yeah, some people are not in that kind of relationship, or to some folks, the very thought of Mother's Day is a bad time for them. And so to them, I say, I hope your Sunday is great. All things considered. And other people are just like, oh yeah, whatever. I'll call, and she'll just be like, why are you calling? And that's just the relationship they have. I know some people are like that. So yeah, that's happening. Here's the thing I wanted to talk to you all about. We'll get into this right now. This is some wrestle talk. I won't do too much wrestle talk, but I wanted to do some wrestle talk. Talking about some wrestling here, because a thing's coming up that maybe will happen, maybe won't happen. First, I'll say what it is, and then I'll explain a little bit about why it is, because it will be confusing for some people. Yeah, a little wrestling. When I tell you that I'm not caught up, no, the Arctic Sloth, this is not about AEW or WWE. The only thing it's about is a former WWE writer has been talking about starting a wrestling promotion, a small-scale wrestling promotion that he's starting, focusing on video and making video content more than just the touring element of it. But he is a former WWE writer, and his name is Freddie Prinze Jr. And some of you are like, "Hey, Xandra, welcome! Happy to have you here." Some of you are probably saying to yourself, "Wait, Freddie Prinze Jr., Mrs. Sarah Michelle Gellar?" uh, to which yes, is going to start a wrestling promotion. Um, and then you also might follow up with, wait, did Freddie Prinze Jr. write for the WWE? Yes, he did. There was a period where Freddie Prinze Jr. Wanted a lifelong wrestling fan, didn't want to do some acting for a bit, and was like, you know what I really like is wrestling. And he was like, what I want to do is work with wrestlers on their acting. That's the thing. He's like, look, you can get an acting coach to come here and work on reacting and being in the moment and all that. But if they don't know wrestling, they don't know how to talk to wrestlers. And he's like, I know wrestling. So I am in a good position to be able to talk to wrestlers about that. So, so he was able to like chat with people about that and kind of work with and you know, he worked on writing, he worked on stories, and then recently he's been doing podcast stuff. He's been doing some D&D stuff with people, generally charity things. But you know, he was on the New Day podcast, I believe, last year. He's still a guy that like loves the business and has flirted with the idea of, because also like, you know, he's not the first person with money who loved wrestling to make his own wrestling thing. It's going to be smaller scale, certainly, than like a Tony Khan. Certainly. He's not going to make an AEW. But the thing that I was most interested in with him talking about this is it's going to be a union show. And by that I mean it's going to be a SAG-AFTRA show. So wrestlers will have to get a SAG-AFTRA, like either be in the union or get a release to be in the union, or to be in the show. Like, I'm not a SAG-AFTRA actor, but I have been in a couple SAG shows, and then you know, I just had to. I only had so many lines, and I had to sign a thing and all that. Yeah, and so that's the part that I'm like most interested in, because that's the part where it's gonna be like, if it's a SAG show, that means not only are the wrestlers gonna be either people already in the union or, as I said, wavered, but that means that the stunt coordinators and the people working on the sound and lights and camera, it's gonna be a union show. They're gonna be union people. It'll be the show probably with the most non-personal health insurance. That's kind of incredible. Like Lucha Underground was trying to do that at one point, but it's very difficult to do that. So I don't know what it's going to be, and what the approach is going to be. I know that like the dude loves wrestling and has said that he doesn't, this is not like his next, like, you know, like starring role thing, but also a guy that can act and be fun and can present himself and host, like, can be involved. And at the very least, like, people who don't want to talk about wrestling that run media, like websites, or, you know, that run like magazines and stuff, because there's still those, they still exist. People that are just like, I don't know anything about this wrestling, but I'll talk to Freddie Prinze Jr. Hell yeah, he played Fred in the Scooby-Doo movies at one point, in the live-action Scooby-Doos. I'll talk to Freddie Prinze Jr. Fuck yeah. Like, at the very least, he can hopefully get some eyes on whatever he's doing just by being himself. And yeah, and I think that rules. The idea of a union wrestling show is kind of unprecedented and cool. So good luck to Freddie Prinze Jr. I hope it works out well. I hope it's fun, and I hope that that people that it turns into something. He was on Psych a couple times. Yeah, I mean, he does like stuff. He does a lot of stuff. You know, he's doing okay. He's doing all right for himself. You know, he has the thing of the young adult star, and that transition is very difficult. Which is, I think, I mean, I don't know for sure, but probably one of the reasons why he got a quote unquote regular job, even if that regular job was wrestling, working for a wrestling company. Um, it's still a fun thing. So yeah, I wish him well on that project. Also, it'll be LA based, and I have LA wrestling friends, so I hope they can get some work. Um, Can't confirm. Transition is very difficult but worthwhile. Thank you, Xandra. We appreciate your specific lived insights on that on that journey. But yeah, sometimes your handsome friends become beautiful friends, and sometimes your beautiful friends become handsome friends. Xander and I have a mutual friend who, at this current part, is starting to show off how handsome they currently are. He currently is. And it's one of those things where you're just like, you might find this, friends, in general, where you want to be very supportive of your friends because they are going through big life changes. And you want to be supportive of them because maybe they are feeling weird about it or they're feeling very proud about it. But it's hard to be a appreciator. Feel free to do what you need to do. Sometimes it's hard to be an appreciator without it coming across as being creepy. I like to use the term dang, DANG. An exclamation point is perfectly reasonable for that. I think that dang conveys, I'm liking what's going on here, but I'm not being a weirdo about it. So I often use that when someone posts a selfie, because some people post selfies because they are happy with what's going on, or because it's because they're just like, this outfit, right? Or my hair today, right? And you want to be like, yes, exactly. But you don't want to be like weird about it. And some people think way too much about, am I being weird right now? And they probably don't need to worry about it. But also, that's very hard to tell people, hey, you know what? This weirdness where you're like, um, uh, uh, this thing you have where you're like worried that you're being too much. It's very hard to tell people, like, don't worry about that thing that you worry about. Don't worry, don't. That's very difficult. So sometimes it's easier just to say, like, all right, well, here's you can just say dang. The word damn has been corrupted by the existence of damn. Yes. Damn also sometimes has the like, oh, you just, like, here's the thing. There are friends of mine that if they said, you've taken my breath away, I would say, oh. And other friends of mine that if they said, you have taken my breath away, I would say, all right. And sometimes the damn like has the equivalent of that. I think of that like, what am I trying to convey here? And often what I'm trying to convey with friends is, hey, you were right to post this. That's all I'm trying to convey. But that also feels weird to say. I definitely have said that to somebody being like, and also, when people post animal photos or animal videos or animal TikToks of their pets, I often reply with thank you, because I genuinely mean that, because it's cool. It's like, you shared your fun animals. Thank you for that. But when people post selfies of themselves, I don't reply thank you, because that feels weird. That feels like a real weird thing to be like, hey, thank you so much for posting this selfie. Nope, nope, nope. What about humanimals? I'm not personally fond of them, but I can also appreciate what other people. No, I don't. Yeah, let people live. Let people do their things. Oh, humanimals. No thanks. But yeah, I am on a Discord with people, and there's a bunch of different things on there. But one of them is for 18 plus conversations, and sometimes people post photos of themselves for the group because they are like, I just bought this outfit, and in that instance, you can say how people are looking and you can say swear words in encouragement, uh, because it is appropriate for the conversation, for the particular place in there, that you can be like, yeah, that is the correct response to these fishnets that you have purchased, is to be like, holy fucking shit, that's beautiful. That, or like, damn, perfect time. This is the right place and the right time. That is a 404ing a bit with Pope. Yes, Eric Pope shared Humanimals with us in 404ing it. It, you know, that was definitely a thing that got sent around in Harmonix. A lot of the stuff the Pope shared was stuff from people on the Harmonix team sharing weird things with each other, having a good time with it. All right, we got to do the foot here, but let's panel line this leg. Not a lot of panel lining with this kit, but we can get some of it done. But yeah, time and place is very important. That is a thing. Lord Crashington wants me to some ska, which I will. Here's this, some more reggae ska for us. Is this just a reggae song? Possible. Did this band include ska in the genre when they uploaded this song? Yes. So if they want to say that it's a ska song, who am I to say it's not? I will have to put a fade in there. I did forget to do that when I added the song yesterday. But yeah, and I got a few more songs that I know won't trip any notification nonsense on Facebook, or not Facebook, on YouTube. So we'll get through that. Just to add some, well, you got to speed it up a little bit, if you want to. But I do like it, and they say they're in the ska genre with that song, so I'll believe them. They're the band. Okay, we talked about that. I'm going to save this for Saturday because it deserves a longer conversation. I will give you the short version of this because we're going to get into it more on Saturday. I don't think I'm going to go to any conventions this year. After fallout from several conventions, I don't think I'm going to go to large conventions this year. I can't see myself going to a big convention, even if it's scaled back, like New York Comic Con. No. I'm probably going to New York in August to meet with people. I don't think I'm going to go to the same weekend as FlameCon, because they're doing it in person this year. And I'm like, no. That's a small convention compared to other conventions I go to, but I'm still feeling weird about it because, like I said, we're gonna get more in detail on that on Saturday, talking about the various things that come out of that. But basically, I just don't particularly in the moment feel comfortable about travel and then being around a whole lot of people, mostly because of fucking people. Like, this is not a person from PAX East. This is a person from another convention. There was a different convention where a person attending that convention, tested positive for COVID in a quick test, and then went to the convention anyway. And then after the weekend reported that they had COVID to organizers. And obviously that person sucks shit. But they're not the only person that is gonna happen with. And so, I'm just thinking I probably don't want to go to a convention. If I do, it'll be a small one, and hopefully one that, and obviously, without a doubt, conventions that are focusing on wearing masks and social distancing as much as they can. and then just kind of making sure I look out for number one, which is me, because things aren't looking great out there, vis-a-vis number of people getting COVID, in general, and airports reducing the taking away the mask mandates for flights and in airports, and public transportation really like not enforcing that, and just like there's just like a lot of things that are going down that I'm like, okay, I think it's time for me to. You can only control what you do. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, and you're hoping that you want to hope that people are using best practices, but you've got to believe that some people aren't. And then thinking about my friends that got COVID while at a convention last month, like several people I know got COVID, and I don't know, like. It's like, okay. But yeah, we're going to get into more detail on that, I believe, on Saturday. I want to dedicate some time and talk about that, because it's a detailed subject. So I just want to say that here's a preview of Saturday. I'm going to talk about that shit on Saturday, because things aren't getting better with that. We're going to take a pause for the cause in a moment or two. I'll do some self-promotion about things that I'm doing and things you can check out. Tomorrow on my Twitter, I'm going to put out a call for, because I forgot to do it today, so I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'll be on Twitter for a bit anyway, so I'm going to put a call out tomorrow for people to tell me about their favorite weird manga, because that is going to be the subject of my next Pat Bear's Anime Club that'll come out on Monday. I already have quite a few. This is usually I'll talk about, like, I gotta be like 3 or 4 shows. But in this one, I want to talk about like a bunch of weird premises for manga, and like I've got all of the weird isekai, like reincarnated as a hot springs or a vending machine. I got a bunch of those, but there are always going to be more that I've never heard of. And so I am like definitely like trying to, encourage, I will definitely be putting a call out, trying to get people to let me know about their weird manga. Because the thing is, I mean, especially in the day now in self-publishing, you could just put out some weird ass shit. Like, you don't have to worry about being in a magazine. You can just self-publish on websites, or Webtoons or, anything like that. So yeah, we'll get into some of the esoteric ones probably, because I think those are, those are fun. But yeah, I know about some of the isekai ones, and there are some slice of life ones, and there's like a bunch of weird things out there. Because I did the weird anime premises, and that was very fun. And so I was saying I should probably do the follow up, and then I got busy with other things to talk about, other anime. So the next Pat Bear's Anime Club will be about that, but I'll put a post out. Also, in talking about business here, I want to see how my poll is. I have a Patreon poll going, patreon.com/Pat Bear. I'll talk about that in a minute or two. But I have a poll going on my Patreon for, let's see, okay. Let's see. Okay, so I put a poll up because my $3, $5, and $10 patrons can vote. Right now, winning my poll of what I should do, they can vote on what I do the second Wednesday of every month. Right now, the poll is winning. The choices for them are Teardown, which I haven't even bought yet, but I'll buy. I've been meaning to check it out. I think my computer can handle some of Teardown. Hearthstone, which, I got a weird deck to play. I got a rogue death rattle deck that's scammy but fun. Or what if I did the smash or pass thing? with Pokemon. There's a website that just has all of the Pokemon, and you could just pass or smash with Pokemon, doing the Markiplier thing, but with all Pokemon, or as many Pokemon as I could do in an hour and a half to 2 hours, and that's winning right now. It's an idea I've wanted to do some weirder Wednesday shows, and that was one that I was like, this is a weird idea. Should I do that? And so far, 3 people who are my $3, $5, and $10 patrons said, yes, do that one, Pat. You should do Pass or Smash Pokemon. So that's probably what I'm doing next week. I think that one won the moment it was introduced. Probably Arctic Sloth. I mean, there's some people who are just like, I don't want to watch anything Activision Blizzard, and I respect that and understand it. I've only done Hearthstone once since everyone was like, ugh, including me. And we did talk about whatever was happening in the current lawsuits and dealings with Activision Blizzard, and we will do that again. I think that, especially like as people are going to get hyped or incredibly disappointed by Overwatch 2, it is important to, we'll just go to this because we're gonna take a pause to the cause in a moment or two anyway. I think it is important to talk about those things and to be earnest about those things. Yes, the current lawsuits, indeed. Current multiple lawsuits, actions from state and federal branches, all kinds of things. Yes, plurals. It is important when talking about those games to then talk about that. So yeah, like I can understand why some people wouldn't want to watch those streams, while other people are like, yeah, I still play Hearthstone, so I'll check that out. And then Teardown, like it's out of early access. I've been meaning to play it. I was waiting for it to come out of early access. Like I'm gonna do a stream with that at some point, probably on my own. But I was like, here's an option. I've talked about this before. I'm gonna probably take a break from Jackbox until the 22nd, which is the day before my birthday in June. June 22nd, we'll be playing Jackbox because that'll be my birthday stream. That's a fun, easy way to have a good time with a stream, is to just play some Jackbox and hang out because it's a little low pressure. So, yeah, I mean, like, I'm going to look at this website right now, not on stream. I'm just going to quickly look at it because it right now has 1,123 Pokemon listed on it. And you can do in order, you can do random, and you can filter to, and then later you can look at it and it will record it. It will know by the fact that I haven't cleared my cache what I have said, or I can clear the choices. And then, yeah. You just press a button and then it'll go. And then it keeps track of what you've looked at. But you can also clear it. And I'm probably just going to do that as a stream. Because that's a lot of Pokemon. So yeah, I guess that's next Wednesday stream, because maybe people are going to come out of the woodwork on my Patreon and be like, no, we're collectively saying no to this. But I don't think they will. Anyway, this is the part of the stream where I talk to you about ways you can support the channel, because I don't have any sponsorships. I don't have any promotional deals for you all. I promote myself. This is the Pause for the Cause, a way for me to tell you about ways you can support the channel, which are obviously all optional. You don't have to do any of the things I'm going to list here. These are all optional things you can do. But if you would like to do these things, you're more than welcome to. First and foremost, let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the emote in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw those emotes in the chat. All of our emotes are made by Xandra, who's in chat right now. As I mentioned, coming in June, a new emote. But right now, those are the emotes we have. And site is a tier 2. It'll become a tier 1 soon. Everyone will get to use it. But subscribing is the easiest way to support what I do here. For just $5 a month, US. You don't see ads when the stream starts. You get my cool emotes. That's basically it, but that's nice. You could also use your Prime gaming token. Lashbrook used Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, you link that with your Twitch. Maybe someone in your family has Amazon Prime. You all just use somebody's old college account or whatever. If they aren't using it for anything, link it with your Twitch. Use it for me. If you're not using it for me, use it for somebody because that's free money for you. Or you could gift a sub. Aristofan gifted a sub yesterday, topping the gift sub leaderboard. So you can gift a sub to someone in the community. Right now, we're trying to get to 40 subscribers. We're currently at 34. So if you would like to become a subscriber or gift a sub, you could do that. You could do it anonymously. You could do it so we give you credit. We say thank you. Bits and coins always appreciated. I believe Harold is the top of our bits leaderboard there. Yes, Harold is top of the bits leaderboard. Also, bits and coins always appreciated. And we thank you for your consideration for that. Again, all of those things are optional there. But there are other ways to support what I do. And I'm going to talk about this for a few minutes, then we'll get back to building. I mentioned I have a Patreon, and my Patreon is currently voting. If you wanted to vote on what I do next Wednesday, you could get the $3, $5, or $10 tier. Or if you just want to support me for $1, the dollar gets promotion stuff, like when I'm up to some stuff, any kind of announcements, and also you get a Q&A at the end of every month. You can go look at the other Q&As. I don't delete them. So if you want to go check those, you could do that. I do a Q&A. It's the only thing that I do that is specific and exclusive is that. I know the other tiers get other rewards. Go check that out. I made a new video this year of like what I'm doing and what that is. I have some stretch goals. I redid my stretch goals a bit, so you can check that out over on Patreon. And then I have a YouTube channel. Of course, obviously subscribing is free, and please subscribe to my YouTube. I put out a new video every other Monday of Pat Baer's Anime Club. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And every Wednesday, so a couple years ago, I came up with the idea for myself of every Wednesday for a year, I'm going to do a series, and I'll do the same kind of thing for every week for a whole year, and then I'll debut a new series. And pretty recently, one year, I was like, you know what? I'm going to quit this halfway through the year. Or maybe I got to July, I can't remember. And I switched to another thing. This year, my Wednesday series is Do You Remembaer? We'll talk more about that in a minute. But if you want to see that Wednesday video on Tuesday, you can become a member on my YouTube. I have memberships there. You can join. It's $2 a month, and you get my Wednesday videos sent to you in a message on Tuesday. So that's an easy way to support me there and the cheapest way. And those are all monthly things. And if you would like to support me financially but not monthly, you could do a one-off. You could join with a little bit of cash money over there if you want to do that. Direct donation through PayPal or Coffee. And everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, which also includes AdSense for stuff I make, my Patreon and my Twitch, all of that goes into a fund, and I take money out of that and buy equipment or model kits. This kit that I purchased to build on the charity stream last weekend, and then continuing here on this stream, this came from my Amazon. This came from funds from y'all, which is awesome. So take a look at that. I was about to mention my Amazon wish list. The next kit I'm building, which I kind of started a little bit and then had to pause, was purchased from my Amazon wish list, which I'll mention here right there, and I'll take you to a link to that. And here's the thing. You jump the queue. So as I said, the next thing I'm going to be building is for my wish list, and the thing after that could also be for my wish list if you buy something from it. Oh, there was a glitch. It took a second there for Nightbot to catch up. My wish list has inexpensive kits. It's going to be a very tiny Star Blazers kit. It'll be very quick to build, or a couple Pokemon kits that will also be quick to build. A little Wolverine mini microfig that lives in a mech that looks like Wolverine. That's a very small little thing, but that's on there. And then some more expensive kits, some more expensive Lego. The price has dropped on this Boba Fett kit. It'll go back up. It won't be $21 for a while, for that long. But some other model kits, some expensive, some very expensive, some that are coming in from Japan, some that are here in the U.S., some that have free shipping, some that don't. I added more liquid cement to the bottom of the list, which is just tools and gear. Because my liquid cement is running a little low right now. So if you wanted to help me with a piece of equipment for cheap, that's at the bottom there. And then there's some more expensive. I like having cheap options for things because anything you want to do to support me is fantastic and unbelievable. So I got my wish list. That's good. USA Gundam Store is an alternative to Amazon in that you can buy a gift card there. You go there, you buy a gift card. They send you an email with that code. Then you send me a DM on Twitter because my DMs are open with that gift card code. And then I will use that gift card code and buy something from you as a Gundam store. And then also, I do have a wish list on Throne. Throne, it's a smaller wish list than Amazon, obviously. They are great in that they focus on creators and streamers and people that make stuff on the internet, a lot of whom that don't want to give out their actual real name, that work under a pseudonym. They don't want to, or a pen name. And they don't want to have any information leak about, like, even what state they live in. And Throne really takes care of people, so I appreciate them. I want to use them. No one has ever bought anything for me from Throne. Someday that'll happen, and that'll be great. But it's nice to have an alternative, because some folks are just like, I want to support you, Pat, but not through Amazon, and I respect it and understand it. A way to support me for free that is not Amazon related for now, because who knows, somebody will buy Discord at some point, is Discord. I don't think Amazon's going to buy Discord, but somebody will. You can go to Discord and join my Discord. It's a nice little community. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. It's nice. It's very laid back as far as Discords go. Okay, a couple of video links for you to check out, and then we'll get into some anime talk. That's right, we'll talk about anime in a minute. Here's a couple of video links. I said I have a new Pat Bear's Anime Club coming out. My previous Pat Bear's Anime Club is right here, and I talked about 4 shows that I recommend that are out this season, and they're all romantic comedies, but they're different. A couple are set in high school. In fact, most of the ones I talked about, 3 of the 4 are set in high school, but one of them is about a found family romance comedic show that also has a lot of action and psychic powers. But then also, there's a show where it's just like, hey, this guy and girl are dating, and their friends are fun. Anime in a minute is a really fun to say. Anime in a minute. But anyway, Pat Bear's Anime Club, that video is my previous one, and it's about romantic comedies that are out this season. There are a lot of them. I talked about 4. But then I also read the names of all the other ones that are out. And then Do You Remembaer? Do You Remembaer is my ongoing video series, as I mentioned. This week, I talked about, and I have to look up the name, the Mariko Aoki phenomenon. I talked about this thing. Adam Conover did a TikTok about the Mariko Aoki phenomenon, and I was like, oh, I want to talk about that on Do You Remembaer? It's the phenomenon where sometimes at large bookstores you have to poop. You're just like, you didn't have to poop when you walked into the bookstore, but then you walk the aisles and suddenly you got to poop. And then sometimes you leave that and you're like, I don't have to poop anymore. And it's named after a woman that wrote into what translates to Book Magazine, which is perfect and phenomenal. A magazine for people about books called Book Magazine. She wrote in a Book Magazine like, hey, this is the thing that happens to me. And then a lot of people wrote letters to the editor going, this also happens to me. They had an episode on Sawbones about it. Oh, nice. I didn't know that, Ghost Foul. I don't keep up with Sawbones. But yeah, it's a whole fucking thing. And there, I read the Wikipedia article and then talked about it. Lashbrook, it is primarily bookstores. It is, and large ones, not libraries. And it's a phenomenon because people are like, enough people that mean it happens to enough people, but it's not like nobody knows why. They just have theories. It's weird. It's somewhat related to how sometimes people need to use the bathroom when they're nervous on like a job interview or a first date or that kind of a thing. So it's not the same, but it is a little similar. And also people don't know why that happens. Anyway, yeah, right, books only want to make you fart. Yeah, I don't know. It is a phenomenon that exists out there, and maybe, I'm sure there are people who are going to watch that, my Do You Remember and go, this is not me. And other people are going to watch that and go, oh, wow, that happens to other people. It's not just me. I don't know. I was happy to talk about that on Do You Remember? It's now the second video week in a row that I have done a Wikipedia. Do you remember about a Wikipedia because somebody I know mentioned it? And I was just like, that's the next thing I want to talk about. The previous one about the adopted, the penguin that is a member of the Norway's army, the Royal Army. That was also referenced on a podcast, and I was like looking that up. Anyway, we're gonna get back to model kit building because that is what we do here. I'm gonna talk about some anime that I have been watching because that is also a thing I do in the second hour of the stream. But before that, I have to drink some water, and we're going to dramatically transition to the other shot right now. Dramatic transition. Yes. As Andrew mentioned, big bookstores, bathrooms sound like they're very comforting. Yeah, I mean, what would assume? All right. Are we working on the tail right now? Yes, we are working on the tail / waist because the tail and the waist are one big unit. So we're going to work on the our tail here, and then we will move on through building this kit. I don't think we're gonna get body complete in the next 45 minutes, but we'll get close. And then we'll only just have wings left because there's no weapons on this kit. And the wings will build, and then this kit will be done. And most likely we will get to that in on Saturday stream. We'll finish this up. Okay, so let's talk about some anime because that is a thing that I watch a lot of anime and I talk about it on stream because it's always something I can talk about. So I'm quitting heroing. To sum up this show, I gave a spoiler last week. I won't dive too much into the spoilers here about it, but if you haven't been watching the show, it's on High Dive, so there's totally possible that you aren't paying for High Dive, so you don't know about it. The premise is the hero, he didn't kill the demon lord, but he defeated her. And he basically crushed the army on his own and stopped their invasion. And then the kingdom that he was working for was like, you're too fucking strong for a human. What's your fucking deal? Are you going to try to take over the kingdom? And he was like, no, I'm not. But then some human assassins were sent after him, and he was run out of the country, and he was like, in the human realm, and he was like, fine. Humans don't want me to protect them. I'll go help the demon lord, because she actually cares about demons, and she seems like, she actually seems like she's got shit together, and so I'm going to go join the Demon King army. And the demon lord that got defeated, she's just like, no, why would I accept you? So he's secretly, under a disguise, helping the Demon Lord army, and eventually he'll be like, because they know he's a human, and he's wearing armor, and he's like, once she realizes how helpful I am, then I will announce who I am, and it'll be fine. And the four, her four generals are like, they know what's up. They know who it is and all that. Anyway, one of them, who is from the Assassin Guild, he's a human that joined the Demon Lord's army. He quit. He just took off and quit and we don't know why, but he quit. And so that's not good. We can't have people quitting right now. So our dude Leo was like, I'm going to track him down. I'm going to find him. I'm going to figure out what's going on. So he tracks him down, finds out what's going on with him. Turns out our dude, Marinus, is really nervous about job interviews coming up because they are trying to increase the Demon Lord army, and he's going to have to run interviews with people for his division. And it's like, Leo's like, well, you were a guild master, right? Of the Assassin Guild. He was like, I didn't talk to anybody. I had people do that for me. I didn't interview anyone. I don't want to do this. I'm freaked out. That's why I tried to quit. So Leo has to help him. So this whole episode is Leo helping out talking about job interviews, like he's got a lot of advice. His big thing is that he has Marinese like dress in disguise and work as a waitress so we get our gender bend here. Works as a waitress in the mess hall because that's a good way to like see how the people underneath him are living, and he gives some good advice. I should say, Leo uses the phrase. My first human conversation went like that. Yeah. So Xandra, I will say this: there is a young, pretty man who does dress as a woman to be a waitress, and I will say this: it's not. I don't believe it's not a bait, and it's not a hint, and it's not subtext, but also it's not shitty, which is honestly shouldn't be surprising. But yeah, it's not a ha 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 portrayal. It is a Leo says it's the only uniform I had that fit you, which is maybe a lie, but we don't dwell on that part. But yeah, it is not offensive. It is not a problem because I would have said that because I say when those things happen. But anyway, yeah, it was weird. And then it ends with them doing a practice interview where Leo's like, I'll answer any question you have, honestly, because he's like, oh, you're going to ask me, you're going to like use what we've learned here in these cram sessions, and you'll like learn, you're going to ask me a thing that, and listen to me, and it'll be helpful for your job interview. So, and then Marinese asks Leo for the real reason he's joined the demon army. And now we're going to find out, folks, the real reason, which I did spoil last week a bit because we had a flash forward of Kim. Because, again, there's more to this story than what they tell you, it's weird because it's not just about that. The explanation of why Leo can defeat a bunch of people on his own is real weird, and they dropped a little bit of a hint in this episode as to why that is, and they talked more about it, as I said, in the previous episode, but it's a lot going on. Anyway, I don't think I'm Quitting Heroing is great, but it's good, and it's fun, and I like a lot of the supporting cast. It's trite and a trope, but I do love the woman who is a succubus, but she is a magic user, and she doesn't use succubus magic, and she, she's proud of who she is, but she's, embarrassed when people say that she's flirting with someone, and I'm like, I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that being a fun bit of business. I think that could be fine. All right, working on part of our tale here, so we're going to keep going with that. Let's talk about the greatest demon lord is reborn as a typical nobody. Lots of really fucking good animation in this episode. In this case, the demon lord, some shows do this, and some manga, obviously this is based on a manga, not obviously, but it's based on a manga. Some manga also does this, which is just this thing where he's a human, but he's surpassed all other humans, and so he's referred to as the Demon Lord, because he is just like the strongest human ever. Anyway, that dude got betrayed, and a bunch of people stopped, he never really had friends, and something tragic happened in his life. Anyway, he decided he was going to reincarnate in the future, and he was going to be a typical nobody, and just have a couple close friends and whatever. Anyway, he's still super strong. It's way in the future. And he's still the one thing that's nice for him. I want to one-shot isekai where a demon lord gets reborn as a different demon lord. We've had a lot of times, I'm just starting to read one now about a demon lord that didn't want to do sacrifices and was killed by the demon god. And he realized the only way, because all demons can't by their nature fight the demon god. But if he reincarnated himself as a human, he could fight the demon god. So that's the story I'm reading just now. There are other ones. There's one about a dragon, an ancient dragon who gets reborn as a human, and he's just like going around doing his thing. There's a bunch of those where it's the whatever, but it's reborn. This case is just a strong dude who got reborn, and he's just like, you know what I want to do? I want to live a normal life and hang out. He's the son of two heroes, and their best friend has a daughter that he becomes friends with. And Irena got kidnapped at the end of last episode. She's an elf who got kidnapped, and there was a lot of like hints about the fact that something's up with her, and there's more than meets the eye with what's going on with her. And then we kind of get like the actual reason of what's going on with her. Season 3 of Breaker returned today. Fucking good manhwa. I don't know if I've read Breaker. I'll have to take a look. But that, hearing it's good. That's awesome. So, yeah. Our dude borrowed a bunch of... Here's the other thing. We find out what the deal is with Irena. Her family bloodline has evil god in her. She's a descendant of one of the evil gods. There were a lot of evil gods. Some of them were killed by our dude, and some of them were banished. Anyway, of the frenzied Dragon King, which is 7-year break. The Breaker has been on a 7-year break. That's why I haven't heard of it, because it took a break before I started reading manhwa. Okay, there you go. The Breaker. Okay, I will investigate. Dang, that's a long hiatus. Dang. Okay, yeah, I will do a little investigating on that, because that does sound interesting. Anyway, going back to this. So Dragon kidnapped her, whatever. For some reason, everyone's like, when Ard finds out the truth, he won't want to be with her. He won't want to be friends with her anymore. When Ard finds out, everyone's just like, hey, y'all, I know they don't know that he's the reincarnation of the Demon Lord, but like, he's really strong and a nice dude, like a gentleman and a weirdo, in that he's old-fashioned. Like, he's not going to turn away from Irena. Like, come on. He's definitely not going to. And he doesn't. He finds out the truth about her, and he's just like, so what? Sure. Whatever. And then he uses some powers. He unlocks some hidden abilities, and he looks like he did in the past. And the spell that looks like the woman that we've seen in the opening animation, who must have been his partner or lover or something, shows up, and he just kicks a whole lot of ass and defeats the dragon and wipes her off the fucking map. Just completely wrecks her shit. This dragon is just like, I loved it because this dragon is just like surprised, like, I'm dying? Like, what's happening? And that was fun. And then also, everything's, happy, but Irena is still thinking, like, at some point he's going to turn his back on me, which is a bummer. But, like, it makes sense that she is concerned about that. This is supposed to be E20 here, right? It does make sense that she is concerned about that because, why would she automatically think that he would be as supportive as he is? Anyway, that this show is like totally fine. Like, I'm never worried that our main character isn't going to save the day. Like, one of the cliffhangers from last episode was that Irena's dad had gotten stabbed and was dead. He wasn't. He survived, thanks in part to Ard. And you have to use suspension of disbelief that this dragon was able to kidnap her in the first place. But whatever. Worked out good. Everyone's happy at the end. The next anime that I will chat with y'all about is RPG Real Estate. It's the cute girls doing cute things anime this season. If you were looking for that, if you've been missing that from your repertoire of anime, and you were like, Pat, do you know where the cute girls doing cute things show is this season? Here it is. It's 4 young ladies, and they work at a real estate agency for rentals and also people looking to buy. because this is the world where the Demon Lord was defeated and the world's at peace. And so adventurers become real estate agents. There's two stories here. One that I like is, look, there's a crab that shows up. It's a crab monster. A crab monster shows up, and he, at one point, says, "Please don't eat me. I have a wife and kids at home." And he does have a bow tie. He is a crab with a bow tie. And I do think that he is great. There's a whole thing with him and undersea world, and he moves into this house, and it's lovely and nice. A lot of this is about Fa, who is the young girl that can crab tie. Yes, she is the young girl that can communicate with monsters. She is the first person they've ever met that can do that. Things are a little weird with her because she does have a dragon-looking tail, and there is a dragon around, and people are freaked out, and some people think it might be her. I don't think she's the dragon that's around, but I do think that she is the reincarnation of the Demon Lord. Speaking of reincarnations of Demon Lords, I think she is a reincarnation. I think she is the Demon Lord reincarnated, and that will be troublesome because she doesn't remember her past. And that just feels like the slow undercurrent story that is going on here. Okay, so this is going to go here. This is going to go there. And then we need to connect these with some polycaps and some stuff here. Anyway, so, yeah. Oh, also, this episode featured monsters who were looked like slimes, but were called dumpling monsters, and they pretended to be a big dragon. But really, they were just looking for work because no one will hire them, and they don't have any place to live. But they get hired because they individually can change their shape into other things. They get hired to work some of the crews that are cleaning up the mess that the dragon made. So they get jobs and they're getting placed to work, which is nice. They got some work because they can be, individually they become dustpans and brooms and wheelbarrows and all this other stuff. And they're just little dumpling friends. But one of them does mention, one of these dumplings does say, wow, the only human that could ever talk to monsters was the Demon Lord. Weird. And that is weird. So I think at some point we're going to find out that she is either the Demon Lord or she is a dragon or she's both. We're going to find out. Anyway, the show is mostly very cute. Also, I talked about at the beginning, I kind of glazed over the fact this is the beach episode, and there are jokes about breast size. Because, of course, this is also the show that has queer baiting in it. Two of the girls who are roommates, there are a lot of references to them being childhood friends, and it does not feel like this is going to go anywhere. I do not think by the end of the season we will find out that they are in love or dating or have been dating or figure out that they are in love with each other. I do not think, and they were roommates. Yes, Sandra. I do not think that the childhood priest and warrior friends who live together and work together are going to end up as a couple. I just don't think it's going to happen, which, of course, is fucking annoying. Because I would rather that they either, like, the subtext is text shit I'm just over at this point. It's just like, just have them be a couple or don't have them be a couple. Lastberg, I did not hear about the special guest in Birdie Wing. No, I have not been paying attention to Birdie Wing because even though it's apparently a kick-ass anime about golf, it is still an anime about golf, and I do not have any interest in it. So I did not hear about a special guest in Birdie Wing. There was a kit of the Turn A at some point. Well, that's fun. That is a random mobile suit to show up in, but it's iconic, so you could have it be smaller in the background, and people who would recognize it. That feels like a weird thing to show up in there. I don't know. I have a friend that really likes Birdie Wing. Can't get enough of it. One of their favorite shows this season. But it just, yeah, that did not speak to me as something that I would be interested in checking out. Final show, Skeleton Knight in Another World. This season we have Ard, and then we also have Ark. This guy's Ark. The former Demon Lord is Ard, and this is Ark. Ark. The thing about this episode, or this season, or this show, I should say, wow, all over the place there. The thing about this show is that I don't particularly love is that oftentimes it's very hard to draw this big shiny dude in armor. So they do computer generated for it. And he communicates a lot and interacts a lot with an elf named Arena. Or, Arena. And that elf is usually in digital. But sometimes when she's interacting with Ark, she's CGI and he's CGI, and sometimes he's not CGI, and they flip too much. So I would recommend for this show, you just have to get, like, it might be a deal breaker. I'm going with it because I find him fun. Like, they defeat a local lord because who's been part of this like illegal kidnapping. Obviously, kidnapping is illegal, but like there's a treaty. You don't mess with the elves. They're messing with the elves and kidnapping them. And this dude is like, this lord was involved. And so our guy helps save them. And he's like, also, while I'm here, let me take all this gold. And he says, well, you know, they need money to rebuild their operation, which we're taking down. So if I take all this gold, and she's like, oh yeah, well if you take all that gold, it will be very hard for them. Good looking out. But really, we're like, you just want that gold. You're just an adventurer that wants all that gold. Anyway, she's like, hey, there are other elves who were kidnapped. Would you be interested in joining my quest? He's just a gamer. He is. He's just a gamer. And he's like, just so you know, I was cursed. Now, we know that he wasn't cursed. He is a skeleton knight, but he looks like a skeleton, but that's because that's the avatar he had before he was isekai'd into this game. But as far as he's telling people, like if they ask, he was cursed. That's why he looks like a skeleton. Anyway, he's like, is that going to be a deal breaker? And she's like, no, I know you're not undead. I'm sorry you're cursed. If you want, come with me. I'll help you find a way to break your curse. And they agree. They're going to go hang out. There's some cuteness with Ponta. Ponta is the little fox spirit that hangs out with him. Our elf and the fox spirit have a very cute moment. It's very sweet. Then there's some political stuff. There's the king of the kingdom who didn't know about the king is like, what's going on with these elves? Investigate it. And one of the princes is probably involved with that. The other prince wasn't involved with that, but also like is being opportunistic. There's a princess. Is that princess gonna meet Ark and think that Ark rules? Probably. One would assume that she's gonna like think that Ark rules because that is how the story would go. That's like what would happen in a story like this. So we're gonna get more of that coming. We've got some intrigue. Anyway, the episode ends with them. Oh, I should say, when they finally rescue the last kidnapped people and then like get out of there. 13 minutes in, we get a late title card. The episode card comes up 13 minutes in the episode. I hadn't even noticed that we hadn't had a title card. That absolutely ruled. I was not expecting that late of a title card, and I think that is cool. So yeah, whoops. We had a very late title card. I like that. So yeah, they accept. They're going to help out. And by the end of the episode, they end up traveling. They traveled a long way, and now they are going to meet the representative of the forest and get permission for him to be hanging out and all that. There's some cool shit that happens because I've read this manga. I like this manga a lot. So there's more coming. Also, I think the opening for Skeleton Knight rules. The opening song has like, it needs a couple more guitar solos in it, but it's gotta like, I don't know, it's got a really good vibe to it. I think it's just like, it's got a little bit of like modern Dragon Force with like, as I said, it needs more guitar riffs, but it's got a little of that vocally, it feels like that. I don't know. Good vibes to it. I like it. Ponta is still very cute. Everybody is pretty fun in the show. There is a cat ninja that we only saw briefly last episode that I'm looking forward to seeing more of. And yeah, he's got a great laugh as a skeleton man. And that's the anime. Yes, Sandra, there is a cat ninja. There's some beast people, and one of them, and they're ninjas. And we saw them last episode, and he's just like, because he's a gamer, he's just like, ears and Shinobi, are you a cat ninja? And she's just like, how do you know the name ninja? And he was just like, I'm just aware of it. I'm aware of that. I'm aware of who you are. He was just like, hell yeah. He's like, I just met a cat ninja. This rules. He was very happy about it. I appreciate that. I appreciate how happy he was to meet a cat ninja. All right, so we're going to do this. We need another polycap here. 7. Okay. We got some time left in the stream to chat about... you can put in the chat if you are watching anything, if you are enjoying anything right now, if you're watching any anime, playing any video games, watching, you found a dark subject on YouTube that's not that dark, but like a thing that you became obsessed with, that kind of darkness, and you're like, this is all I watch on YouTube now, Pat. I don't know what else to do with myself. Let me know in the chat. I will say, I'm watching too many videos about carpets being cleaned. And it's very sometimes the people talk while they're doing it, and other times they just show the footage, and it's very ASMR-ish. And I'm watching too much of it. I just watch it all the time, and it's fine. I don't have a problem with it, but I'm watching a lot of that. But I will say one thing I'm not watching is I've chosen not to watch the guy that power washes driveways and... I mean, there are a lot of people, but this particular dude power washes a lot of driveways, but he has a thing where he doesn't have enough content for YouTube, so now he just, in his area, goes up and knocks on people's doors and asks if he can power wash, like, people that have, like, stoops and paths to their driveways and stuff, and our patios, and just like, hey, can I wash this for, and put it, I don't even know if he says, can I put it on YouTube? He's going to wash this? Can I wash your thing for free? And most people are just like, I guess. I don't like that guy. That dude definitely fucking voted for Trump. And I just like get a shit vibe from this guy. And I don't like that he's unsolicitedly asking people if he can film their, power wash and film their property and then put that video on YouTube. And I don't like it. At least the carpet cleaning people folks give a discount to people when they wash their rugs. And that I think is fine. So give that carpet discount. But the other stuff I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think I like this. Let's see. Arctic Sloth says, I've been watching birds and started taking pictures of them through my spotter scope with my phone. Hell yeah, Arctic Sloth. That's fun. I've never been a bird watcher myself. I'm a bird appreciator, except for the bird that lives outside my window that has a real weird call that it makes, and I don't enjoy that bird because it does it when I'm trying to sleep. But other than that, it's good. Queen, Laura asks, did you play the beta of the Gundam Team Shooter game a few weeks ago? Also, I get really sucked into tool restoration videos that are super relaxing. I do like tool restoration videos. There's at least one guy out there that I don't think understands how to do it, though. Like, he does a lot of, like, break it. It's just one of those things where, like, that wood was fine. You just broke all that wood apart and then put a new metal part on there. you know how to like deoxidize things, but I don't know what else you're up to. Um, I did not play that because I bounced off Overwatch like 3 or 4 weeks into Overwatch, and I know that Gundam Evolution isn't just Overwatch, but it looks a lot like it plays a lot like Overwatch, and that's not kind of the style of game I'm too into. So I haven't played it. I say that knowing that if and when they put the Death Scythe in there as like maybe like a skin version of the Barbatos or something, I'll play it. I will at some point. I'll play that game. Or if my friend group, because right now my Halo group is like every once in a while we play like every other week or maybe every 3 weeks. If some people in that crew are like, hey, because they're also we kind of got back together for Back for Blood. If they were like, hey, we're playing this, I would play it. Like if I had like my gaming crew super invested in it, I would play more of it, I guess. Lord Cratchit says, I'm at episode 140 of the Persona 4 Endurance run, and it's still a great playthrough, though Vinny's talk about Nato's gender hasn't aged very well 15 episodes ago. So I will say this. I'm sure there's a lot about that playthrough because Persona 4, here's the thing, right? I think I've evolved as a person in that when watching that, didn't think much about the gender politics of that. Everything from the be a man stuff to the like, just the gay, like in the moment, I understood the gay panic inherent in Persona 4. There is a lot of gay panic for laughs in it. And yes, Naoto's gender stuff. I'm sure that there's some stuff in it that like is of its time, and even for its time, not great. Because even then, it didn't feel good about it. But yeah, I could see that. I could see in the 2022 lens looking at it and going like, you know what? No, that doesn't hit right. I can definitely see that. But that is fun videos. It's been a while. Their dislike of Yosuke's freak out about kanjis potentially being gay definitely does hold up. Yes, Yosuke has such out of nowhere, unbelievable gay panic. It is unbelievably like bizarre. But then at the same time, yeah, I mean like the gender politics of the like, I need to be a boy. No one's ever heard of a girl detective, and the stories I read are about boy detectives, so I need to be a boy detective. But then also, that's just like the personality I need and who I'm looking up to. I'm not a boy. I'm a girl. Don't worry. I'm a girl. Oh, if you pick me and our relationship is strong enough, when you pick me to celebrate Christmas Day and have Christmas cake, I'll wear the school uniform that I don't wear. Some of it's real not good. Also, at the end of the very last closing thing in Persona 4 Golden, when they like show them in the future, he comes back. The main character comes back to see everybody after a year, and Kanji has stopped bleaching his hair. And I was just like, boo, boo. I don't care if he doesn't have anything to rebel against. He would keep his cool hair because his cool hair was cool as hell. So boo to that. I was like, no. Yeah. This is like, boo. Yeah, the Persona 4 Golden best ending bonus scene, after credit scene, where he like returns after a year is Kanji's just like dressed like a preppy nerd. And it's just like, I mean, he could do that, but he wouldn't. Yeah, the time skip Kanji. It's just like one of the things where it's like, what are we doing here? Come on. He would still use a chair as a weapon and be badass. He wouldn't be like, there's no way. Come on. Like, he'll figure some shit out, but like, You know, he still had some stuff to work on, but like, come on. All right, we are going to end the stream there with some sad thoughts about the end of Persona 4 Golden. Our dragon tail is done just about. We got to build it. We got to build it into our waist, and so we're gonna finish this kit on Saturday. Saturday stream, we will put all this together and complete this whole kit. Because we got to build the rest of the waist and then the wings, and then we're gonna go back to the RX 782. Which is the version for the Tokyo 2020 games. The Paralympic, as you can see, the color scheme here is the Paralympic Games. It's an official version of the RX 782 that was released in Japan that I imported because it looks cool and I like the colors are good. And the stand it comes with is very nice. So that's the next thing we're going to be building when we finish the Danazine. So that'll be Saturday. We'll get into that. Thank you all so much, everybody who decided to hang out. We had some new people come in. We had some old regulars come in, which is great. And I appreciate y'all being here. We are going to end the stream, right? Isn't it nice? It's lovely colors. It's the Paralympic Games colors. They also did an Olympic one, but I think this one's better. We are going to go on a raid. That is how we end every stream, is we go and raid somebody in the community who's doing some cool stuff. So we're going to go see who's doing fun things out there that we want to go hang out with. We'll go see who is doing some stuff that we want to go and chat with. Danica's playing Elden Ring. Oh, I want. Let me see. When did she start? When did Danica start? Danica does a lot of streaming under a different persona. So her streaming as herself is very cool. She just started not that long ago. Danica has been streaming as various VTubers, but now she's streaming as herself. And I'll say that just because she said that, you know, she's getting used to doing that. So this is not her as a VTuber. This is Danica as Danica. So we're gonna go raid Danica, who's playing Elden Ring, because she's getting used to doing some IRL streaming, which is great. Danica is absolutely fantastic. What a lovely person. But yeah, she's done some VTubing stuff. This is not that. So we're going to go give her a raid and be supportive because I know y'all will be. But she's great. She's playing Elden Ring. Thank you all so much for being here. Feel free to come along this raid. If you don't want to come on the raid, you don't have to, but I would love it if you did. Target channels in network raids. Okay, so we can't raid Danica. So we're not going to raid Danica because we can't raid her because we are not in network with her. But I'm going to put the address in there. And if you want, you can go there. We're going to go raid somebody else because I cannot raid her, which is fine. If you want to go there, you can and check her out. We are going to raid somebody else. And I think that's also okay. Actually, we're not. I'm just going to go there. So I'm not raiding anybody. I'm just going to go there myself and check out the stream. So thanks all everybody for being here. That's a weird way to end it. But yeah, follow the link there. Go check out Danica. She rules. But yeah, she does not allow in-network raids. So we can't raid her. But I'm going to host her instead. And thank you, everybody, for hanging out. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Thanks for coming out to the old Build With Baer. And enjoy the rest of your night. I will see you on the next stream. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.